And I'm very pleased to have with us Debra Pallatto-Fontaine, doctor from Becker College. And in addition to her doctorate, she's also the executive director of global initiatives for the Eunice Social Business Center. And Becker is a school that's really grown in programs, grown student body, its presence in the city. So welcome.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me, Tim.
Well, maybe you could share with us, because there was, I know not too long ago, a pretty significant announcement made at Becker concerning the Eunice Social Business Center, and maybe you could share with our viewers what that is.
Sure, I'd be happy to. So as you remember, about 1.5 years ago, Dr. Muhammad Yunus was invited to be our presidential speaker as part of our series, and he gave his talk at Mechanic Hall, and he also spent 2 days with us at Becker College, meeting faculty and staff, having lunch with selected students at our Center for Global Citizenship. And before he came, actually, we had our proposal accepted by him.
And just, you know, for our viewers who might not know who Dr. Muhammad Yunus is.
Yes. So Dr. Muhammad Yunus won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2006 for his work with microcredit financing in his home country of Bangladesh. So he believes that actually worldwide poverty can be alleviated if everyone had equal access to microcredit loans.
And that then allows them to, in many cases, start their own businesses and become self-sustaining.
Exactly, that's the whole key. And so he developed the Grameen Bank in Bangladesh, which is why he won the Nobel Peace Prize. And we also have an organization called Grameen America. So we're really doing the same thing in our country as in other developing countries.
Right, and what he was able to do in Bangladesh, you know, is now kind of taking place across the globe.
Yes. And one country that the presence is known as in Haiti. So we work in Haiti with the Be Like Brit Foundation, a close partner of ours. And so we're starting to introduce social entrepreneurship curriculum as well.
Right, and the significance of the announcement 1.5 years ago at Becker was this was the first Eunice Center established in North America?
Yes, in the United States. Right, there is one in Canada. But in the United States, we're the first of its kind, so we're very fortunate. And Tim, I really see the Eunice Social Business Center at Becker as a gift to the greater Worcester community, with our businesses and local organizations, and certainly with our nonprofits that we work closely with. And, you know, we don't have all of the answers yet. We're just starting out. We have a wonderful representative advisory board. We meet regularly with faculty, staff, students, and members of the community and business leaders. And so we're really seeking to collaborate with our partners and see how we can solve some of the social issues surrounding us, because our tagline is solving social problems, transforming lives.
And so if someone were to say, okay, I understand what a business is, I frequent one, I own one, I work at one, what is a social business?
So a social business really has a lot to do with creating social impact to affect change in people's life for the greater good. So an organization, a business may already be doing a lot of good work with corporate social responsibility, trying to engage in various ways in the community. And at the same time, they might say, well, gee, I'd like to kind of start a social business as well. So again, a social business first identifies a social problem, comes up with an idea, so maybe that organization will hire employees or bring in other people to work on a certain project. And any investments that are made in this social business are returned to the company, but a social business means that all profits that are made get reinvested back into that social problem that they're working on to keep it sustainable. So it's really aligning business principles with social objectives.
And so some companies already engage, as you mentioned, in that kind of corporate social responsibility. So in that instance, just trying to differentiate that between kind of someone who's just saying, okay, I want to start a social business to help try to solve a problem.
So CSR, corporate social responsibility, is where organizations may have a whole list of maybe a dozen ways they're engaging in the community. So they might give donations, they might participate in a walkathon, they might take their employees on a service trip. I was just in Haiti again last week, and 2 organizations were there with their employees as part of a service trip. But social business really goes a step further because it's really addressing a social problem and actually doing something about it. So it's generating that solution, and the money from that, whatever that project is that they may be making, gets reinvested back into that project. So it's really just looking at doing what the business is doing already, but a social business, obviously the focus is on social, so it's aligning with social objectives.
And I'm sure there's some examples of that?
Well, that's what we're trying. So as far as we know, there are no actual social businesses yet in Worcester.
Not in Worcester, but I mean the program globally.
Oh yes, right. Certainly in Bangladesh, I could share with you a lot of global problems in social businesses. But one example I will give you is from a student who's a senior at Becker in our Global Citizenship Program. And she started her own social enterprise, which became a social business, called One Chair for One Child. And Raquel Knight is formerly from Jamaica. And we were there on a service trip in rural Jamaica 2 years ago, working in the schools, very crowded classrooms, not enough furniture, not enough chairs. And when we came back to campus, she started reflecting, and that experience brought up memories when she was a little girl in those same exact classrooms, not having a place to sit, being sent home by the teacher because there just wasn't a place for the children. And so she really began getting interested in the quality of education in her home country. So now she launched this wonderful website and project, One Chair for One Child, and she's actually working with a vocational high school, a shop class in Jamaica, and those students are actually getting paid to make these steel or metal rather sturdy chairs for the classroom. So that's one example of a social business, and that's how we can work with our students at Becker so that they can begin to address a social problem, and then we can help them with the resources and the mentoring to make that happen.
And so, and part of that, I think former President Becker, Robert Johnson, talked about agile mindset, problem solving, the ability to empower people to start their own businesses in different ways. And this is kind of just part of the culture now, or that you're trying to expand at Becker.
Absolutely right. And I'm glad you mentioned the agile mindset, because the UNIS Social Business Center is so closely aligned with that. That one of the components, for example, of the agile mindset is empathy. And that's what we're really seeing in our college students now, Tim, that kind of burning desire to make a difference in the world, and compassion and concern for people who may be in need. And then, of course, divergent thinking, generating those creative solutions, and entrepreneurial outlook. So it does fit very nicely together.
Right. And so a year and a half, these things take time to build. Some announcements coming up. We're just working out to expand the awareness of the program.
Right. So we just started really this past summer and early fall working very closely with the Chamber of Commerce. And I just feel so fortunate that we're able to work with your staff and your leaders and identifying businesses who might have a certain or shared vision with the UNIS Center. So we are, as I said, collaborating, brainstorming, kind of opening the door. We are going to be offering a brand new certificate for business leaders in social entrepreneurship and social business starting in January. We'll be moving into our new space at 80 Williams Street, the Colleen Barrett Center for Global Innovation and Entrepreneurship. And maybe just another announcement that we're working very closely with RAP, Worcester Refugee Assistance Center. Several of their immigrants are formerly from Burma, and in their home country, they were very interested in starting their own food business. And so we're working with a couple right now in helping them to develop a financially sustainable plan for that.
Great. Well, excellent. And it's great to hear about the UNIS Center, its presence here, and I look forward to further conversation and entrepreneurial growth.